Good morning, dear students. Today I will take the class a little bit early because I'll be engaged later. So today we will continue on the statistical classification problems. So last time we have defined what is the statistical classification problem with an example, and after that we have seen what is the difference between a classical testing problem and a statistical classification problems. So today we will see how a statistical classification problem is equivalent to a decision theory problem in that decision theory problem that you have done in first semester in statistical inference. So it is very simple. Classifying an individual to one of a finite number of non-populations, given populations, is nothing but to decide on the membership of the individual to one of the populations. So we have k alternative hypothesis. That is, S naught A, the individual A belongs to the population pi I goes from 1 to k. So as a decision problem, the problem is to decide on one of the k alternative hypotheses. So in that way, we can view the classification problem as a decision problem. Or in a decision problem, we have a lot of actions to be taken. What are the actions? Not that this one is important. A statistical decision problem are not necessarily classification problem. That is, classification problems are statistical decision problems, but statistical decision problems are not classification problems, because statistical decision problem we have the estimation. So estimation part is obviously not a classification problem. So that is what I want to mention here. Now the actions. What are the actions? The actions are this one: AI, classify the individual A to the population PI, that is accepting the hypothesis A belongs to PI. So these are the actions. So A1 is classify A to the population P1, A2 is classify the population individual A to population P2, like that. So we have k alternative actions to be taken. Okay, any one of the k alternative actions will lead to either a correct classification or an incorrect classification. We call it misclassification. Okay, in terms of the decision theoretic approach, we have a wrong decision and a correct decision. Here we have a correct classification and a wrong classification called misclassification. Suppose we classify the individual A to pi 1 to P1, the population P1, but actually it is from P2, then we have a misclassification. Okay, so for every misclassification we have to incur a loss. So the concept of loss function comes in that way. So when we assume, generally we assume a non-negative loss functions taking value 0 whenever there is a correct classification. For a correct classification there is no loss. So we said that it is 0 loss. Otherwise, if we have a misclassification or a wrong classification, we have to incur a non-negative number. So a positive non-negative or positive value for every misclassification. We will generalize the concept of the misclassification using the classification cost table. This is called the cost table. The notation is CJI is the cost of misclassifying an individual of population PI to the population PJ. Here, I repeat, CJI is the cost incurred for misclassifying an individual of Pi to Pj. Okay, so the cost table will look like this. Here it is P1, P2, Pk. Here in the column row P1, P2, Pk. Here, so misclassifying or classifying an individual of P1 to P1 is a correct classification. So there will be no loss. So we put it as 0. But classifying an individual of P1 to P2 is C to 1. That is, the cost of misclassifying an individual of the population P1 to P2 is C to 1. This is a non-negative number. Is a positive value. Okay. Similarly, the cost of misclassifying an individual of P1 to Pk is Ck1. So this is also a positive value. Similarly, we can take all the entries in this table. This is called the cost table. So since classification of A is to be done on the basis of measurements made on A, we can represent A by the vector of measurements x. This is the vector of measurement x made on A, on the relevant characteristics of A, and let x denote, capital X denote the sample space for x. So in decision theory, you have seen that the definition of a non-randomized decision rule and a randomized decision rule, like that. So a non-randomized decision rule, something like is a mapping from the sample space to the action space. Okay, so here our sample space is x and the action space is A. Suppose action space A consists of k alternative actions, A1, small a1, a2, ak. So that way we define what is a non-randomized classification rule, in the same way as we define a non-randomized decision rule. Okay, the definition is here: a non-randomized classification rule consists in partitioning of the sample space X into k pairwise disjoint and exhaustive regions, say W1, W2, Wk, with the rule of classifying the individual A to the population Pi whenever the sample point X belongs to the region Wi. I goes from 1 to k. So ultimately a non-randomized rule is represented by the corresponding partition. So this is the non-randomized rule. After partitioning of the sample space is done, then a non-randomized rule is nothing but the partition W1, W2, Wk. So the point is that this is W1, W2, Wk is k pairwise disjoint and exhaustive regions. Okay, so this is a non-randomized decision rule or classification rule. And what is a randomized classification rule? A randomized classification rule consists in generating a probability distribution P1, P2, Pk with the rule of classifying A to the population Pi with probability Pix. I goes from 1 to k. So similarly, a non-randomized classification rule is represented ultimately by the corresponding probability distribution P1, P2, Pk. So P1, P2, Pk is a probability distribution, meaning each Pi is greater than or equal to 0 and the sum over all Pi, I goes from 1 to k, is equal to 1. That is the property to be satisfied by any probability distribution. So you note that. So here similar to what we have defined in decision theory, a randomized decision rule. So it is generating a probability distribution P1, P2, Pk. So ultimately the non-randomized classification rule is represented by this probability distribution. So the other one, that is non-randomized, is represented by the partition of the sample space W1, W2, Wk, and in the case of randomized classification rule is the generation of a probability distribution P1, P2, Pk. In the next video lecture, we will see how these two will work in order to obtain the cost, along with the cost, how to obtain the non-randomized and randomized decision rules. So for today, I will stop here, and you try to link whatever I have explained here to your textbook and try to understand further. So have a good day, stay safe, stay home, all my dear students.